I'm glad now to be joined by a legend here in this part of town in Smashville. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined here by the play-by-play voice since day one of the Nashville Predators, Pete Weber. Pete, thank you very much for taking the time here. This is pretty cool.
Tyler, I am appreciating the opportunity here myself, and I got to tell you, I was so happy I'm still able to go to a hockey game.
Oh my goodness!
On this Friday night.
So yes, we talked about the story in the pregame. Not just the fact that we're playing here at the Ford Ice Center here at Bellevue because of the water main break that ended up flooding Bridgestone Arena. Also, the Predators couldn't play a couple games. They weren't able to play Colorado today, which I was excited for, the defending Stanley Cup champions, playing Columbus tomorrow. So you mentioned now this is the second and third rainouts for you now. Tell us a little bit what happened a little over a decade ago.
Yeah, 2010, we had, as they called it, a 100-year flood. It only happens every 100 years. Well, I thought for a while there that, and not today, but there was some heavy rains that happened in the summertime.
Yeah.
That just a few weeks later could have affected us much the same way. But then today, rain and a water main downtown, right within the rink actually, on 6th Avenue side, has resulted in cascades of water.
Oh my goodness.
Going down and through. So that's what, and it made it a rather easy decision to postpone tomorrow's game as well.
Yeah.
Even though it was going to be a night game against Columbus. So we are hoping on Tuesday that we can play our scheduled game at that point in time.
That's why I had to bring you on the air. I had to get you some reps in because you're probably so bored today. No. You and Terry Crisp both here in attendance for this game tonight.
Well, he has to be. It's his rink.
That's what I was saying. When it's your rink, you can just show up whenever you want. You don't need to pay a ticket or anything like that. But you yourself, though, I mean, obviously we can go across the years and years of you being an NHL broadcaster. Years singular. We'll put it that way. I'll try to keep it short.
Oh, you can do that. I don't care.
But you obviously have some experience in the college game as well. Talk a little bit about that.
My first hockey broadcast was in December of '74. At the old rink at Boston College. And they were so nice, the old BC Notre Dame rivalry, to make sure that I was set up right in front of the BC pep band.
Oh, boy.
And you want to talk about your crowd mics picking things up. That picked up an awful lot of band noise. And I think I only regained much of my functional hearing a couple of weeks ago from that.
Oh my, because we talk about, I mean, we have a good pep band in Western Michigan, but of course especially in Michigan, there's the University of Michigan. Michigan State has a lively band too. But I couldn't imagine being in front of them.
Right.
Behind them or next to them, that's kind of cool. The ambulance, and of course at Lawson we have the Lunatics, who are, let's just say, very spirited bunch.
Spirited, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few that showed up in the snowstorms that we had last week in West Michigan, and I can tell you right now, they did not, without some substance, they didn't show up, that's for sure. But, I mean, that's what makes college hockey, though, great. I
yes,
mean,
it does.
Especially back, I mean, because you were with Notre Dame, and, Notre Dame's got a pretty good team this year, too, and, Jeff Jackson's doing a great job.
He's done a tremendous job there.
Yeah, we were able to see him a couple weeks ago, and that's a tough Notre Dame team, and, I mean, it's always great when you ever get to see some good hockey players come up through, and one guy that maybe you have some interest in on the ice tonight, Northeastern, Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. You have some interest in that young man.
I was showing him on the roster then to my wife Claudia, so she could see him firsthand after hearing about him so much from our scouts and so on the last few years.
How do you notice a difference between college players and guys that come either from European Pro and juniors? Like there's a different kind of player those guys are.
Is it ever? And I got to say, for the most part, the European players seem to have more skills developed already when they come over here. The college players, I think, are second to that, and then the junior players are the physical specimens that try to drive you through the boards.
Oh, yeah. Of course, we've seen a couple big hits here tonight.
Yeah, we have.
And it's almost one of those games. I mean, these two teams talked about in the NCAA tournament last year, had the great overtime game that we needed video review, and don't have that here tonight, but that's okay. Hopefully we don't need to go to that. But
that would be nice not to have to.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'm sure. Hey, that game, who knows? Northeastern probably would have won that game had video review not happened. But, I mean, then again, you worked in Buffalo. I'm pretty sure video review is a four-letter word up there in Buffalo, isn't it?
Yeah, particularly, well, which one do I want to go back to? I guess I'd like to go back to 1999 and Lindy Ruff's famous no-goal call by the Dallas Stars in Game 6 of the Cup Final. There have been a few times with the Buffalo Bills, and I was associated with them as well, that, let's just say it was basically in the rivalry in the 70s
Yep.
with the Miami Dolphins.
Right.
A couple of times the line judge stood over the ball and didn't let them snap it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, those times. Good video review. It's great when it works, but it's bad when it doesn't.
Yep.
We must step aside. We could probably do this all day, but we got to take a break because when we come back, it'll be the second period between Western Michigan and Northeastern. The Broncos lead the Huskies by a score of 2-1. We come back here on the Bronco Media Network.